So define what is it? Is there a difference between a working dog and a sporting dog for someone who may not know?
Oh yeah, I when I think working dog, I think police caliber dog, and then when I think sport dog, I think detection. So police caliber dog is going to be typically a little bit more unhinged, more pressure, more independent thinker. Not all about the handler, but more about how do I
Oh,
get this suspect? How do I bite this decoy? I'm never gonna let go. High defense, high prey drive. And then sport dogs are typically a little bit more high prey drive over high defense. Defense being, a little mean in nature.
so there's a totally different training regimen for something like that? Then, like, if can you take the same dog and train for, say, sporting and then also for working? So, like, I know that you competed the police canine out there on the Space Coast, and so when you're competing, how does the same dog know? Okay, this is for sport and this is for work. Is there different training? What does that look like?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You could tell, I'm not you saw those police dogs, but you could tell it was very difficult for them to let go. They
Right.
didn't want to stop the fight. Is because that's what they're trained for. They're trained to go in that fight and enjoy that fight, and that fight is the highest level reward. As opposed to these sport dogs who, they're okay with the fight. Some of them enjoy the fight, but it's not like the top of the world for them. The most important thing for them is that bite and their handler's appraisal. So, how you train them, how you breed them, how you raise them, what you're looking for is so different when you're thinking, working versus sport.
You know what? I noticed that when I was there, I was like, man, and I that's exactly what I thought. I saw that the police dogs didn't do incredibly well compared to the civilian dogs at, say, the obstacle course. I noticed that they were very interested in the decoy, and that's because they is that purposeful, that they don't want to get confused? Like, I know, like, if you take a football player and put him into baseball, he's not necessarily going to thrive.
I personally don't think so. I think it's just it's hard. It's hard for those handlers who, they don't do a million sports. They aren't training for like PSA, which requires a tremendous amount of neutrality and clarity in a dog. So it's not something that they considered to train. The police dogs, they want them to bite. They want them to not care what they're biting or how they're biting or who's hitting them or anything like that. So they purposely made these dogs feel like that bite is all they want. So now